Hello and welcome to Reflections from Paisley Abbey. We've been musing over the past 8 weeks about how we've been trying to get on with our lives in the midst of this COVID crisis. And it occurred to me this morning that it's been a bit like Holy Saturday, the day between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. We've all suddenly had to cope with massively changed circumstances. Our freedoms, our liberties have been taken away by the threat of illness, and we've had to retreat into a narrow existence. It's a scary new kind of extended grief we're living with as we fear for our friends and families and for ourselves as we wait to see what will happen to us in case we become ill. As we've looked for ways to get through this crisis, some of us have turned to the past for inspiration and for ways to support our troubled emotions, and we've found some limited help. And I've been drawn in particular this week to the fear that the disciples of Jesus must have felt as they left Jesus' body in the tomb on that awful Friday and went home wondering what would happen next. Their expectations and hopes for the future, what this amazing man had said to them about how humanity should live, how we should care for each other, and how we can all know God, all seemed to be hidden away, wrapped up and placed in that tomb. We know that the intimate followers then hid themselves away in rooms, protecting themselves, fearful for their lives. From our perspective in history, we know what happened the next day, Easter Day, but we also know from experience when we live through difficult times that our minds go to unsafe places, that as we cope with difficult grief and sorrow and fear, that we can forget the good things of life, and that the greatest good is that on that first Easter Sunday, love showed just how it is triumphant over the darknesses of humanity. And as we seem to be stuck in a perpetual Holy Saturday, fearfully waiting and watching for signs of change, wondering what life will look like for us at the end of these times, we can be reassured that the triumph of the love of God will come to us all, but maybe we have to be prepared that it won't happen as we expect. Jesus' followers certainly didn't expect what happened on Easter Sunday, did they? Let us pray. Spirit of divine love, we come to you knowing that we let ourselves down sometimes, knowing that despite understanding that you are with us and share with us in our times of sorrow, that we can turn away from your presence in our lives. As we take this moment to acknowledge our feelings, we can take courage from the realization that even Jesus cried out in anguish to you. As we bring our fears, concerns and cares into the sacred time and place with you, we pray that we can remember to take courage from your presence in us, in our lives, in our loved ones, and in those we encounter daily. And we endeavour to remember that just as on that first Easter Sunday, when God and love showed the way forward for humanity, then God and love will show us the way forward today. Amen. And now let us join together saying the prayer which Jesus taught to his first disciples. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory for ever and ever. Amen.